Good evening and welcome everybody to the second of the Design Faculty Creative Showcase. My name's Deirdre and I'm Head of Design. This evening we're here to shine a spotlight on the graduates of the Interior Design and the Interior Architecture programs. I'm now going to hand you over to the Program Director, Britt Berenson. So over to you, Britt, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Deirdre. Welcome everybody to the Griffith College online creative show. So we have been working really hard to get this online, and I hope everybody been enjoying their evening. So although the current restrictions have prevented us from
Britt, sorry, just a second, your video's not on.
yeah, give me a second there. I'm very sorry. There we go. Very sorry, everybody. Let's start again here now. So welcome to the Creative Show. We've been working very hard to develop this online show for you guys, and we hope that you've enjoyed the evening. So although the current restrictions have prevented us from hosting an on-campus show, we are still determined to celebrate the hard work of you students. So today we're celebrating our interior students, the final year interior architecture and interior design students. So congratulations to everybody. A special congratulations to our interior architect students who are graduating today, and the interior design students who are graduating, and also to those who are progressing on to next year of the stage. And I also like to thank all our lecturers for all their hard work. Without them, the students wouldn't be here today. Also, a special thanks to Grant Kenny and Oisin for encouraging the students to get their projects over the line, and to Mark McKenna, who had the challenge of teaching and ensuring students were enabled to work with the CAD and the 3D rendering while remotely accessing the computer labs. So the schedule for the evening is an industry session followed by questions and answers. And we've announced 6 awards. We've also showcased a selection of the 2020 graduate student work. The panel consists of Denise O'Connor of Optimized Design, Gary Cohn of Cohn Design, and Oisin McManus of Family Exchange, and she's also our interior design final year studio lecturer. And then Gwen Kenny of Divine Design, and she's also our interior architecture students studio lecturer. So I would like to welcome the panel we're really looking forward to having you here today, and we're absolutely delighted that you can attend. And I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say. So maybe we can start a small talk in relation to interior trends. Gary?
Hi, everybody. I'm Gary. I'm an interior architect here in Dublin. I have my own company, Cone. So about trends, very exciting now, because to go very clearly for it, as everybody know, a lot of it is going to be very common sense. There is a direct line between the 20s and before. We're in a new world. We've started the 21st century. And because of the pandemic, what the trends are coming down the line is whatever you're designing needs to be clean and fresh, and everything has to have this feeling of cleanliness to it. So if you think about it, you don't want, you yourself don't like the feeling of dirty at this point, and so you go to the opposite. So everything coming down that way, I'm giving a general sense as trends coming forward. So even if you go through colors, they're actually fresh, clean, inviting. The other thing that I could say is if we go over towards the side of interior architecture, where things will become a little bit more optimistic about the future, because whenever things are grim, you want things better. And whenever things are like going well, there's the apocalyptic world. So we don't want the apocalyptic world. So even though we're not in a great space right now, things look towards more aspirational. So that's a pretty great, that's sort of a generalization of where trends are going, besides the obvious of working at home, offices, 50% here, 50% there. But just as a viewpoint, that's the trend where we're going.
Very good. Denise, do you want to talk maybe a little bit? Maybe you can mention some of the trends.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And well done to everybody. This is amazing. Thank you for inviting me this evening. I think it's really interesting. I think now, certainly, you know, I'll probably talk a little bit about the residential side of things and what I'm seeing having come through the last few months. And certainly when people are thinking about their homes now, it's totally turned on its head. So even already we're getting lots of people looking for more flexibility in their houses, spaces to exercise, home office. But that's definitely something now that isn't going to go away. So just, you know, from the interior architecture perspective, designing houses with lots of flexibility, like even if we take open plan living, I feel that that's going to be something that's only going to be seen in much bigger houses. And where people don't have so much space, it'll be about, you know, making things as flexible as possible. Just, you know, even tiny apartments and stuff, there's just huge, it's actually really exciting. You know, there's such a massive scope there to really turn things on their head and actually do things much better. And I think like what Gary was saying, you know, with keeping things fresh and clean and bright, I think it is about paring back. It's about all of us, I think, now have realized that we don't need to be shopping all the time. You know, we can do so much with so little. And I think we'll be very conscious about that going into the future. So, you know, our homes will be more pared back, I think, rather than the more is more that was becoming so popular. So I really feel it's an exciting time. It is a clean slate, and it's a time where we can kind of think about how things are made, where we're sourcing things, where they're coming from, and really creating little havens for ourselves.
Thank you very much, Denise. Oisin, would you like to talk a little bit about office spaces?
Absolutely. There's no doubt that COVID-19 has disrupted the workplace. There's a reversal in trends that we would have seen before, including designing for like high levels of human interaction to support collaboration and creativity in highly flexible spaces. And these would have encouraged communal spaces, breakout zones, cafes, large conferences, even entertainment zones. They were less corporate and more residential, almost intimate in their design. And this allowed to build a culture to attract, but also keep talent. They were never designed to prevent disease. There's a lot of talk about the new normal, but it's impossible to predict what that is right now. Steelcase, the global leader in office design, talks about the now, the near, and the far, and they can only be developed with science-based technologies and offer new solutions. In the interim, people need to get back to work. I've talked to other industry professionals, and they still intend to work from home, like what Denise is talking about, for at least half the week. And this will allow the physical office space to facilitate those reduced numbers with the associated physical distancing that is required. But people won't return unless they feel safe. And this will require retrofitting many existing spaces, moving desks apart, removing chairs, adding partitions, creating pods, enhanced cleaning regimes as well. Bleach cleanable fabrics, non-porous materials, wayfinding devices, and enhanced virtual experiences, which may need upskilling for some. In times like these, though, it offers an opportunity to reinvent ourselves. And designers, we thrive in times of challenge. We can make a difference by offering solutions. A holistic view is required, and I know that's a buzzword in our industry, but I feel it's more prominent and relevant now, and its literal meaning is mind, body, and soul.
Thank you very much. Gwen? Gwen, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Congratulations, everybody. So I was tasked with the hospitality industry, which is an interesting one to get tasked with at the moment because we don't really know what is going on. At the moment, it's 2 meters. The Restaurateurs Association and the Vintners are pushing for 1 meter. With a maximum of 6 around a table and 4 on other spaces. It's quite interesting with absolutely no bar service at all and all table service. It will mean more staff being present in each place and obviously less punters, if you want to call them that, being present. Gone will be the days, thankfully, where you're elbow to elbow with the table beside you and you're going, is that nice? Can I have a piece? So we'll have a much nicer experience as diners or pub goers. We've all seen the pods that are being developed at the moment to put outside places to increase their space. And I don't know if anybody has seen the lovely image of a theatre where they've actually placed teddy bears on the seats where they won't be able to have people due to social distancing. I, as you know, design a lot of hospitality stuff, and at the moment it is a real unknown as to where it's going to go. I've been in quite a few places over the last week looking at various ways we can redo it. It is definitely, I think, as Gary said, and Denise and Oisin, the 20s again all over 100 years later. So it's like a whole new change to everything we've ever done before. So it's really exciting. But at the moment for me in the hospitality, it's a little bit unknown, but we'll have some fun trying to crack it. And as designers, there are lots of opportunities out there to do it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's a very interesting time that we have ahead. Absolutely. So we can quickly move on maybe to look at maybe industry and job opportunities for students. Denise, you mentioned something in relation to working remotely previously. Do you want to maybe expand a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. I think, you know, it's really interesting because I remember when I was graduating and there were no jobs, and initially what you start doing is you think about going abroad, but we can't do that. You know, we physically can't do that. But I think what is amazing at the moment, even for me with my business, is it's forced everybody to have to adapt to be able to work remotely. So employers are having to accept it, my clients are having to accept it, the team are having to accept it. And what that means is there are no boundaries, you know, so what is to stop you as a young graduate now applying for jobs all over the world, as long as those employers are happy for you to work remotely. So for me, it sort of opens up a huge amount of opportunities. And even for my own business, it's allowing us to deal with people, you know, we're working with people in the UK at the moment, and before that would have been an issue, you know. So I think in terms of looking for jobs, the sky's the limit. You know, don't feel that you're confined to here. Look beyond, because I think people will be really, really open to that. And I think as well, because of the challenge that you guys have had to face with your final year, been thrown into turmoil, you've had to adapt, you've had to be creative, you've had to be problem solvers, and all of those things are going to stand to you so much when you go out there looking for jobs. So I think it's wonderful. You know, you have a great opportunity now, so it's great.
Thank you very much. That's no, that's absolutely very true. Gary, you've spoken a little bit in relation to the COVID-19 grants available. Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Can you hear me, Gary?
Yeah, can you say it again? Sorry.
You discussed previously a little bit in relation, or you mentioned when we initially spoke, a little bit on the COVID-19 grants available for businesses. Do you want to go in and expand on that a little bit?
About the COVID-19 and the post-COVID homes, that one? Is you're talking about that one?
No, you mentioned previously there was a grant scheme coming in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. Now I hear you. Yes, there was a grant that the government, that's called the Leo grant, and it is the COVID-19 online. I can't remember the technical name. Online services, I'll call it this. And entrepreneurs and business people were allowed to. It stopped to go apply for this. And what was great about this grant, and I applied for it, and I did get it. If you don't get it, you have to go take a seminar also before you get it. And in that seminar, the Irish government was very good about what their viewpoints of you were as every entrepreneur. And they were saying, okay, we know that business will not be the same. So we have to get you to make money from your desktop out there. And one of the requirements for the grant was you need to put on your website an active website, not a brochure where you just flip. It has to be interactive. And in that interaction, you need to be able to, your customer has to purchase something without you. You got it? You know, you go to Amazon, you purchase, you don't need anybody, okay? So, but they making you, me, think, how can I turn an interior design business interactive when I have to be everywhere? That's where they get you to think very, very outside of the box. So I came up with some ideas, and I'll give you a quick example of what the teacher said online, which you can get. There was a bus driver. He had a bunch of buses. He's like, I can't do it. I have to travel back. I have no clients, no customers. How can they get on the bus? And they said, well, how about if you travel from Belfast to Cork, and you just put luggage in the hole, and you charge for that, and people can do that online. You had to think outside of the box of just what you do. So anyway, that's the new business person. We work every day, we do our job, but we also have passive income happening with our companies that we have on the side that is related to what we do. So it's a win-win situation for us. It's also a win-win for the government, I got to say, because they're very smart. They've just expanded everyone's job outside the borders of the island, which is very smart on the government part. So that was one of the schemes for the future.
Very good. Thank you very much, Gary. Gwen, would you like to talk a little bit about opportunities in the industry as well?
Yes, I suppose COVID-19 has made the world a very small space. As we saw when Kelly came in and spoke to us there a month or so ago, we have access to people we've probably never had access to before, and they have access to us as well. So I know we've all got a wonderful online portfolios, but it's always worth going in, looking at them, you know, targeting who you want to work for. Again, looking on LinkedIn, seeing what they're about, trying to figure out ways to get yourself in front of them. It's a fabulous time for job opportunities, and as Denise said, you can work remotely for anyone in the world now, which is amazing.
Thank you, Gwen. And Oisin, what do you think? How can
I'd like to echo a little bit there of what Denise was saying as well. And I just would love the students to take a moment to believe how important what they've achieved, and to be really proud and acknowledge it. The class of 2020 will be like no other, and I am very, very proud of you all. And our industry, it's full of challenges, like daily challenges, sometimes hourly challenges. And you've overcome an unpredictable challenge and completed your studies, and that alone makes you very valuable and really should not be lost sight of. And just remember, this is a period of uncertainty. It's temporary and it will pass. But guaranteed you'll be asked, what were you doing during lockdown? So keep applying yourselves, you know, even if it's voluntary work that you do or online courses in your favorite subject of health and safety, CPDs. There's lots of online webinars of really interesting debates that you can get involved in. So, you know, we are in a time of change, but don't lose sight, you are the designers of the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all of this. This has been amazing to talk to you all. And there is a few questions for you that has come in. Maybe I can start with Denise. As an interior designer, what question would you ask our clients?
What question would I ask clients?
Yeah.
Well, for me, my starting point is always trying to get to know the client. So even when I was in my final year, my first thing that I did for my own project was to create a client. You know, they give you the brief in architecture and you just go for it. But I couldn't do it without imagining who the individual was. So that's a really important thing for me. And I think trying to help my clients understand how they want to live. What is their vision for themselves, for their family? Because oftentimes clients come to me and they sort of want what their neighbor has, or they want what their mum has, or something like that. And it's trying to kind of get rid of all of those little ideas and really hone in on what matters to them. So that for me would always be the starting point.
Oh, thank you, Denise. And Gary, you mentioned previously the new living. So what do you expect the new home would be post COVID-19?
So the post-COVID home is going to be very interesting. Just to give you a quick scenario, the last big pandemic was the Spanish flu, 1918 to 1919. Okay, so they went through what we are going through right now, but actually a little bit more severe. So, but things happen in that's changed our norm that we take for granted. For example, you know that little bathroom under the stairs? That happened back then. Just so you know, a lot of these things happened before, but it started like us working online on Zoom. It would happen before, but it actually began now. So think that way. Anyway, that bathroom under the stairs happened because the people with money said, I don't want people in my bathroom upstairs with the flu. I want them to stop here. And we don't think about it today. We're like, oh yeah, that's the WC. Another thing is bathrooms were retrofitted before then from Victorian homes on, and they were wooden and everything. After that, think of the bathroom of the 20s, tile, clean surfaces, easy to clean. We take it as normal today. So let's move to 2020. What is happening now? Think about it. I don't want people coming into my home with dirty shoes all over. Maybe we have these areas where we put our shoes, just like they do in, say, like Japan. Maybe there's cleansers right where we come into the house where it's normal, washing your hands. Like, you wouldn't smoke in someone's home, but maybe you think, yes, I want to clean my hands when I come into someone's home. And Denise was very good. She mentioned a lot of things that were happening, so I won't repeat her. But it's sort of the home, the office, the gym, the flexibility of it. Also, Denise mentioned also about the open plan. Spot on, Denise. Very, very good. Because as things, you don't want people to be around you as much as anymore. You need little spaces to get away. And I forgot what the word you used, but it was, I'm going to say enclave, where you can just snuggle up into spaces. So our home of the future is starting to take a new shape, new directions. But you know what? It's clean. It's going to be, it's things that we've thought of were like, oh, you actually did that in the before the 2020s. You'd be like, yeah, like, oh, that's gross. Or today you'd be like, but in the future it'd be like, yeah, of course you wash your hands, of course you do this. So think about that. We're in this brand new future, and you guys, it's exciting, I love it, are the ones who are going to be making those decisions. So very good. That's it, Britt.
Thank you very much, Gary. O'Shane, maybe you can come in and talk a little bit about how can you design small spaces.
Ooh, small spaces. Personally, when I hear the word small spaces, I would think of a flexible kind of multifunctional space that's fit for purpose would come to mind. I think it's a really relevant question, actually, because post-COVID, I think there are going to be a lot more smaller spaces we need to navigate. Now, what I mean is where we work, our homes, transport, travel, where we choose to socialize, it'll be a smaller footprint. And that's really going to be down to the physical space that we're going to have to be within. Now, there are wonderful opportunities for designers. A small space will have restrictions, but it's an opportunity for elements to be bespoke and designed correctly for the purpose they're intended. They can take longer as well to design because every corner has to be addressed, and you need to ensure that everything will fit in place according to the client's requirements. Also involves a lot of open conversation and communication with your client. Don't presume what they want in their space, and cross-check all your dimensions. My students will be familiar with the story of the lovely piece of joinery that was designed, but nobody asked the client what size the glasses were that he was going to put into the joinery. And they didn't fit. So design accordingly, and remember that little bit of extra magic that you can bring to a project. Find value in your ideas, connect with them, and express them.
Thank you, O'Shane. That brings us on to the next question. So, Gwen, what is a good way of using light in a room?
I am surprised I got asked this question because they're all probably bored to tears talking, listening to me about light. I suppose bringing it into COVID situation, they're all laughing because they are. Bringing it into COVID situation, we can use light as a way of wayfinding. I'm researching at the moment, and MIT are saying that we're all going to be scanned, both our temperature and also where we've been. And on that, they'll make a decision whether they're going to let us into certain places or not. So again, we might have red lights for stop and green lights for go based on that. The other thing, as again, it'll make you all smile. Shadows are your friends, really important. Layer the lighting, and you just can't beat a shadow. So think about that when you're using your lighting as well.
Thank you very much. So we have another round of questions there now. So Denise, when designing a room, what are the most important factors for you?
Well, the first thing to think about really is the atmosphere. What kind of atmosphere are you trying to create in the space? So how do you want to feel? How do you want the occupants to feel when they're in the space? So, that kind of determines everything. So that really is the starting point. And from there, then you can look at, what the layout of the space is, get that working first, and then build on that depending on what kind of atmosphere. So if it's relaxed and calming, that'll dictate the colors, the textures, the materials you use, even the orientation of the furniture, or something energizing then is going to be totally different. So all about the atmosphere.
Very good, thank you. And Gary, what helpful tools can any interior designers use?
Okay, so this is actually an easy one. So you may think I might say AutoCAD, I might say BIM, I might say Revit, SketchUp. I could go on and on, on what tool. Is it a PowerPoint? No, it's actually you. You are the best tool. People don't hire anybody, they hire you. And why they hire you is for your personality. They hire you for your talent. They hire you because you're different. They hire you because you have a certain style and you have a presence in their office. Then that is the number one reason why they hire you. So invest into yourself. I know it sounds like, oh, I've heard this before, but seriously, invest into yourself. Because when you walk into an office and they could see your portfolio, but then they can hear you have a conversation and they could hear all the things that you can come up with and do, you're a vital part of the team. So think of yourself as, how do I fit into a team? And how can I be an asset to the company? And I am the asset, not the company. I am the asset, and they need me more than I need them. So you are the one who is the most important tool.
Thank you very much, Gary. That's really interesting. Oisin, what magazines can be most helpful for interior designing?
Magazines, after trying to get you all to go to the library, and now you want to know about magazines. I'm only messing. But it's really important to familiarize yourself with the magazines that your potential clients would get their hands on and what's actually going into the public domain. So there's a lot of, and that's relevant to what country you're in as well. So here in Ireland, like we've got Image Interiors, Wallpaper, Elle Decoration, Architectural Digest. The Irish Times and Irish Independent, actually, they've got some really nice articles every weekend. For myself, some of my favorites, hard copies, would definitely be Frame, Sleeper, and then online, I always like to look at the Cull Hunter, Deason, and ArcDaily would really be my favorites.
Very good, thank you. And Gwen, can you mention, I know Gary's only already mentioned a few of them, but some of the most popular and mainly widely used softwares for interior design and for digital communication? I know you're talking about virtual media as well.
Yeah, so for lighting, because we have to get that one in, Dilux and Relux are the two most popular ones. And you can do all sorts of simulation and tests with that. And then I've been researching a lot recently on augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI and how it's going to work. And so Maya is a really good product for animation in 3D, and we're jumping on like so fast. Every time I've researched something, it's nearly out of date by the time I go back and read it again. And then haptic developers are developing this thing where it's like kinesthetic. So you'll actually be able to, Denise will be able to virtually show her clients fabric, and they'll virtually be able to feel them and go, yeah, Denise, that's great. I'll have that, thanks. And Gary will be able to show them the shiny tiles for the bathroom, and they'll go, no, it doesn't feel right. I'll have something else. So that's amazing to see going on. And obviously the full virtual headsets then as well, that we'll be able to completely immerse ourselves. And then finally, parametric design, which is really interesting as well. So Zaha Hadid's building in Japan was built with that. So it's kind of algorithms built with buildings, and it's moving all the time. So the AI is able to respond to it. So there's loads of really interesting things out there. Lots of free courses, as Oisín said, and loads of information online so that you can go find that one out.
Very good. Thank you so much. I have one final question for you guys. So maybe you can give me one question in relation to what the students can expect when they're actually entering into an interview. If they're in for an interview, what questions can a student expect? So do you want to start with Gary maybe this time, or Ms. Allen?
Sure. So everyone, I just want to say congratulations on your ending of your year and starting your new career. First of all, what questions you can ask would be, it's important that you understand that you have to flip the question around to asking the person interviewing a question. Now, it's a practice that I do, and I got many jobs because of this, even ones I didn't want. And what you do is you say, when they start talking to you, you say, well, what do you think? And why did you start this company? And why is it important that your employees do this? And why? Ask that person questions. They will be more enthusiastic about having a conversation back and forth as if you're part of the company already. So the important thing is flip the conversation, start asking about them, what interests the interviewer, and you'll notice it will come right back to you with easy questions coming forward. So it's a simple thing to remember. Okay, Denise, Britt.
Yeah, thank you. Denise, yeah, do you want to go next?
I think one of the most important questions that you'll probably get asked are questions about yourself. So particularly with creative teams, the synergy of the team is really, really important. So they'll really want to get to know you as a person, what your likes are, just to see will you fit in, will that work? Because ultimately that's what, as an employer, we hire people we get on with, that we know are going to work with the team. So sometimes even I've taken risks on people who might not have all, the things that I need in terms of experience, because I just feel, you know what, we can really work with these guys and we can train them in-house. So personality, and I think just be yourself, that's really important.
Very good. Thank you so much, Denise. Oisín.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to be echoing what Gary and Denise say. Like honesty. Be honest, guys. Don't say what you think they want you to hear, because we are professionals and we see through it. Guaranteed, we will see through it. So be yourself. Only you can be you, and only you can be unique. Now, if I was to think of any question that caught me off guard once, there is one many moons ago. I was asked, where do you see yourself in 3 years? And it really caught me off guard. I know now, but I didn't know then. So there you go. There's one for you.
Thank you, Oisín. And Gwen, the final one.
I would say the same. I've one question at the end I'll give you to ask the client, or to ask the interviewee, but I think apply for jobs that you're really passionate about and that you're interested in. There is no point you applying for a job that's high energy and changes on a daily basis or an hourly basis if that's not your personality and that's not where you're going to be happy. And similarly, if you want a job that is very kind of similar every day, go for that kind of job, because you won't fit in the company, you'll be miserable, you know, your boss will be miserable, the team won't work, and nothing will really come from it that's been positive. So really try and figure out where you want to work and why you want to work in that kind of place and go for it. And the one question that I would hope you will get asked at the interview is, when can you start?
Very good. Thank you, Gwen. So the next part of this session now is awards. So we're going to start off with the Interior Architecture Awards. We have 3 awards to be announced. It's one on the Interior Spatial Project Design Award, Excellence in Visual Design and Communication Award, Innovative Technology and Sustainability Award. And I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors. And I'm going to hand you over to Gwen, your studio lecturers, who'll be announcing who the winner is.
So our first award is Interior Spatial Project Design Award, and it's sponsored by Kelly Wersler, who has given us a limited edition book for you. And the winner of this award is Aisling.
Aisling, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, thank you.
Congratulations and well done, very well deserved.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Gwen. Thanks, Britt. It's really nice.
Okay, and then our next award is Excellence in Visual Design and Communication Award, and the winner is Marcello.
Marcello, can you unmute yourself there, please?
Yeah. Thank you. It's very nice. Me communicating well. That's the first.
Well done, Marcello, and again, very well deserved. And our final award of the evening is Interior Architecture, Innovative Technology and Sustainability Award, and the winner is Andrea.
Andrea, are you there? Andrea, we might come back to Andrea in a little bit if she drops in. The next awards then is for the Interior Design Awards. And again, we have 3 awards: the Interior Spatial Project Design Award, an Excellence in Visual Design and Communication Award, and a Sustainable Design Award. And I'm going to hand you guys over to Oisin, who will announce the winners.
So these awards are for the final graduates, part-time and full-time students in interior designer. And there's just 3 sponsors I'd like to thank. We have Jenny Pringle from SECO, Stephen Pierce from VESCOM, and Paul Carney from Forbo, who sponsor all 3 awards. So the first award, sponsored by SECO, is for Interior Spatial Project Design Award, and the winner is Josie Moretti.
Thank you.
Is Josie there? It's
Yeah,
just
I can hear her.
spotlight to everyone. So if you could put up your hand if you're called out. I can't see Josie. Oh, there you are.
I heard her.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was unexpected, but I'm very glad. Thank you.
Congratulations, Josie.
Congratulations.
Very much well deserved. And our second award for Excellence in Visual Design and Communication, sponsored by VESCOM, and the winner is Daria Gross.
Is Daria there?
We can come back to her.
Okay.
We can come back to her. We'll move on to the third award. And the third award is kindly sponsored by Paul Carney of Forbo, and it's the Sustainable Design Award, and the winner is Courtney Forbes.
Oh, thank you. Was not expecting that.
Well done, Courtney.
Thank you so much, Oisin. Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Courtney, I'm just going to spotlight you there so everyone can see you.
Oh yeah, sorry. My yeah, I only have one bulb in my room, so it's not working.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody. Really well done. You should be very proud of what you've achieved. So the next stage now is the student work. So we're going to showcase a selection of our interior architecture student final projects. And the work that you would see involves the change of view from an existing building to either a social responsibility, civic engagement, or a healthcare function. So the student wrote their own briefs and selected their own buildings, and they all show quite unique and creative approaches to their projects. So I'm going to hand you over to Gwen, who will be introducing the students, and the students will have 2 minutes to talk about their project. So here, a brief description.
Just before you kick off, Gwen, if you could ask each of the students to put their hand up, because I need to spotlight them so they'll appear on the screen.
Okay,
Or else you
Daniela,
see everybody.
Daniela, would you put your hand up, please?
Daniela, fantastic. I'm going to
Thank
put a
you.
spotlight on you now.
No pressure, Daniela. Okay, first up is Daniela, or as I know her, Danny, all the way in from Canada this evening. And I'm going to let her talk about her project, Fearless.
Okay, so my project involved the adaptive reuse of the existing building, Marshalsea Court. It just kind of goes right in front of the river, Liffey River. The aim was to create a homeless shelter for women and children in which they can feel safe, welcome, and inspired. The shelter provides hope and opportunities for residents to better their situations through the application of biophilic and human-centered design. Residents are also encouraged to interact with the community at large in spaces such as the cafeteria and the central courtyard, kind of to help break down stereotypes and prejudices associated with homelessness and living in shelters. That's it.
Well done, Daniela. It was a really interesting project, and I think you did an amazing job on it. Okay, and next, Marcella, will you put your hand up, please?
To me?
Can you just put your hand up? Yeah, just for Deirdre to find you. Thank you.
Is it good?
Yep, she has you. Okay, and next up we have Marcello, and he's going to be telling you about his project which turned Busaras into a whole new dream.
So my project was to turn the monuments for monumental modernist building in Ireland that the Bozara is into a place where people can go and learn about more sustainable and healthier lifestyles through fun. And my concept was to see the light in the dark, because at this stage in the society, we are living in dark times. And funny enough, it only got darker for many people. So my project was to bring the light and hope and show that it is there for everyone, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcello. Okay, and next we have Jimmy. So, Jimmy, can you put your hand up, please, until Deirdre
Hi.
spotlights you?
Yeah.
Just put your hand up until Deirdre spots you.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
Now, do you want to
Hi,
tell
my
us all
name-
about you? Go off you go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hi, my name is Shimi Sherpa. For this project, I have designed childcare center. So building I have chosen is from my country, Nepal, so which is located in Pokhara. And the concept for my design is egg. So why I have taken egg is like it acts as a protective layer. So similarly, childcare center also act as a like shield for and color in my design. and all the material used are from natural materials and sustainable. Yeah, that's it, I guess.
Thank you, Jimmy. And next up, we have Aisling. Aisling, will you stick your hand up as well, please, for Deirdre to spotlight you?
Hi.
And Deirdre's just spotlighting you, and your project will be up now in 1 second. There we are.
Yeah. Hi, so my name is Aisling. My thesis topic was, can universal sensory design aid in healing spaces? So it was proven that it's really beneficial for a user to get like sensory experiences where all 5 senses are stimulated simultaneously. So for the project, I wanted to create a space where all of these senses were stimulated and it was giving the user kind of an immersive experience. So I came up with the concept milk, where I poured milk and then drew the outline of the shape, and this kind of formed the entire project space planning, and just had a really kind of relaxing, calm feeling, so all that the senses could really stand out for the user. Yeah, that's it.
Well done, Aisling. It was another incredible project.
Thank you.
I don't know if we have Andrea at the moment, do we? I don't think Andrea has, I think she has technical difficulties. So we might just leave Andrea's. Guys, I'm absolutely super proud of every single one of you and everything you've achieved. So congratulations and enjoy your 2020 graduation, even though it's like one we've ever had before. But we will have a big hug at the end of all this, and the best of luck to you in your careers.
Yeah, very well done, everybody. You should be so proud of your work. It's absolutely fantastic. So coming up next now is interior design. So we're going to showcase a selection of our interior design students' final projects. The work that you see involves a change of use from 10 Mill Street to a boutique hotel. And students each selected their own client and concept, creating personalized approaches to their interior design. I'm going to hand you over to Oisin, who will introduce each of the students.
So we're going to start off with Amy Boyers, who blends her previous experience in fine art and print and NCAD and interior design together.
Amy, no need to put up your hand. It should work automatically as soon as you speak.
Okay. So my name is Amy Boyers and I'm a final year interior design student excited to move forward with my work. The brief given to me for this project was to explore the adaptive reuse of an existing building, protected structure into a 5-star boutique hotel. I was inspired by the beautiful elements from the original building on my site visit to 10 Mill Street. The concept is inspired by a patina, a beautiful surface produced over time, usually occurring on copper, bronze, or metal surfaces. I decided to pull this into the building with a modern twist in the extensions outside. My client, James Jameson, played a huge part. He himself has aged over time like a beautiful fine whiskey. 10 Mill Street includes 6 luxurious bedrooms, 1 accessible, 1 family suite, single, double, junior suite, and deluxe suite. With a luxurious restaurant, Cask Bistro, with a signature bar located in the courtyard with a separate entrance. Cask Bistro is an entertainment destination catering for a glamorous clientele. The building is a large open space with a barrel vault roof made of copper. The interior has sheets of copper patina. Warm golden tones and amber hues will shine through the building as if they would in a glass of fine whiskey.
Beautiful. Thank you, Amy. A well-resolved project. Well done. The next is Courtney Forbes, who's excelled in her learning and technical abilities since September to nurture her passion in design.
Yeah, so this is my project here. I got the inspiration for my concept mainly from my client, David Attenborough. I've always been fascinated by his love of the planet, and I'm continuously inspired by the preservation and conservation of our planet as well. 10 Mill Street concentrates mainly on that concept.
And my design style is very minimalistic approach and modern, and sustainability was of utmost importance. So, yeah.
Well done, Courtney. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we have Daria. Daria, have you entered the room? I could see her waiting in the waiting room. Has she come in?
Yeah, I've let Daria in, so she should be here.
Daria, put your hand up so Deirdre can highlight you.
If she speaks, she should come up automatically. Daria, are you there?
I think Daria might be having some technical difficulty. She's coming in and going out, so
Okay.
we'll let you know when she does come in.
We can maybe go back to Daria at the end. Whoever's missed out, we can go back. Okay.
Okay, I'll just say two little words for Daria if she is listening. Daria Gross, she overcame the Irish building regulations in her final project, and she has excellent visual design skills, as you heard earlier, by winning the award. So we'll move on to Sabrina Keane. And Sabrina really came into her own working with Mill Street with a design that inspired her from the case studies that she physically went to visit. And I've witnessed a huge learning curve with Sabrina since September.
Hi, so my name is Sabrina Keane. Upon entry to visiting the site, I was really inspired by the amount of history the building held. This inspired me to bring the building back to its roots, which varied from the 17 to 1900s. In the protected structure, I wanted to create a traditional style, and in the extension, I wanted to create a traditional style with a bit of a modern twist, as I wanted people to feel like they are walking from the past into the present. And that's it. Thank you.
Well done, Sabrina. Well done. Very proud. Next up, we have Dolores Meshi. Dolores loves colour, lots of colour. And she's put in a lot of hard work in her final project, especially in her technical drawings as well. Over to you, Dolores.
Hello. I was inspired by this concept through the client and also the surroundings of 10 Mill Street. So the concept was a hidden gem demonstrating a diamond in the rough, as this building is situated in a rough, poor area, creating something beautiful out of the ugly. As this boutique hotel will consist of a modern, sleek touch, this boutique hotel will act as a hidden gem for the Liberties and will stand out amongst the rest of the undeveloped areas in the surroundings of 10 Mill Street. The initial aesthetic comes from the client himself being brought up in a rough place and having an upbringing. Now being self-made millionaire, he wants to add modern, beautiful touch to rough areas throughout large cities. I was inspired by strong contrast and combining light with dark to create different types of atmospheres, such as warm, welcoming, and peaceful, alongside being dark and mysterious, including a large extension connected to the protected structure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, and well done. Next up, we have Mar Nazar, and Mar's got a wonderful attention to detail. She'll hold on to her ideas and work through every single detail until she's happy it's been resolved. Over to you, Mar.
Hello. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Okay, so good evening to everyone. My name is Mar Nazar. I'm from Argentina and I have been living in Dublin for over 7 years. I'm going to present my project, Hotel Nua, which is located in the Liberties and it's a historical area of Dublin City, and it's a protected building which has redesigned and adapted to create a 5-star petit hotel of 4 floors with 6 rooms, reception bar area, restaurants, manager office, and staff area. My client is Jack Tilling, the director of Tilling Whiskey Company since 2012. And my concept is a phoenix, which embodies resurrections from the ashes of the past, new beginning, and greater strength. The revival of the Liberties and the Celtic phoenix of Tilling Whiskey go hand in hand as symbols of Irish Renaissance and culture and vitality. The new design aims to create a sense of rejuvenation, showcasing contemporary design techniques through an extravagant, exotic, and luxurious environment, while also retaining elements of historical surrounding of the area, its spirit and cultural heritage. The design is mainly divided into two sections: the original building where the hotel is located, and a new extension design for the bar and restaurant in the first floor. Both buildings are connected by the reception as a common area with a glass design to take advantage of as much natural light as possible. In the basement, there is a luxury gym and with toilet, bathrooms, with accessible bathroom with shower, and another unisex one also with a shower. Additionally, there is a laundry room with a storage area for cleaning products. We also have access to the basement also. The parking, sorry. On the ground floor, we have the main entrance with a car access and valet parking, which leads directly to reception, which was designed with a large green wall above the stairs and roof hanging kinetic light designed with moving lights, plus an administrative office, storage, and an area with its own bathroom for the staff. From there, we have access to the original building where there is an accessible room and a relaxation area with a library and the manager office. On the first floor, so we have the main entrance with the car access and valet parking, which leads directly to the reception, which is designed with a large, that's a ground floor. So in the first floors of the original building, there is a family room and a start room. And on the extension, there is access to the reception. We have a bar restaurant design with large window and a green roof. From there, you can go also to outside patio. There is ground
Your
floor.
time is up now, Mar.
Yeah.
So do you want to quickly just summarize and we can move on to the next person?
Just finally, we have the second floor, which is there is a double room and a twin room and a suite. That's all.
Thank you, Mar. You see, like I said, Mar has attention to detail. She has to work through it all. That's just in her nature. Well done, Mar. No, well done, Mar. Well done. A lovely project and well resolved. Thank you very much. Next up, we have our part-time students who have been working full-time or with work commitments. So we're going to start with Josie Moretti. She came with previous industry experience, but building regulations was really something new to her, and she had to navigate and apply to her design. She's got fantastic attention to detail, and she's mastered the art of hand sketching. Over to you, Josie.
You're still on mute. Just unmute yourself. Brilliant.
Great, thank you. I am Josie, and as Oshin said, I have a background. I am interior design registered from Brazil. I did 3 years of our bachelor in architecture in urban design, and I have been working in the industry for more than 3 years. So my project is Liberty Boutique Hotel, which I designed for 10 New Street. It's a historic and protected building in the Liberties, and inspired by client Bono, leader singer of the rock band U2. My concept is based on the theme of music. The curves and straight lines of different music instruments can be seen throughout of the proposed extension and decorative elements. The existing building is connected to the modern extension via a glazed pedestrian suspended bridge to create a unique experience for the guests and the residents of the boutique hotel. One of the points that I like most of my project is the extension combined contemporary design. You can see as this shape of a guitar on the extension, and a sustainable material and innovative constructions method that includes the structure, the living green wall, and the roof, green roof. So all of folks and sustainability approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. Thank you. A wonderful project. Next up, I'd like to introduce Laura Sheridan. She's also a part-time student with her own work commitments. And Laura's got a really strong sense of visual communication, and I've witnessed a huge learning curve in her design abilities since September across the whole broad spectrum of design. Over to you, Laura. Have we got Laura?
Is Laura here? I can't see her at the moment. Laura? No? Maybe we might come back at the end?
Yeah, we'll try again at the end. Next up is Tatiana, another part-time student and our final for this evening. And Tatiana also has shown a huge learning curve and understanding of space planning since September, and she has a really good attention to detail with the associated specifications needed for her project. She was in the waiting room, so
Yes,
I did
I
see
am.
her. Ah, here.
Hi. So I'm Tatiana. I also have some experience in interior design before doing this course. Well, this is my proposal for the boutique hotel. My client is Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's a street artist from New York. And my concept was the exchange based on the artwork of the Jean-Michel Basquiat and also the background, the commercial background of the Liberties neighborhood. The purpose of this is allowing to mix the visitors coming to Dublin, people living, the residents living in the neighborhood, and create a cultural and commercial exchange throughout the whole area. The finishes and furniture chosen were full of color and rough textures like concrete or roasted metals and ceramics. And this is an example. Some of the distribution of the hotel was public spaces in the front, having easy access, and the private area in the back of the hotel, having also a classroom to an exhibition area to bring some artistic point of view to the boutique.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. A well-resolved project. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Can we just give one last chance and see if Daria managed to come into the room, or if Laura? Daria or Laura?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Gwen, has any of your students reappeared?
No, unfortunately, I think neither Daria, Laura, or Andrea have been able to make an appearance, unfortunately.
Okay.
Not to worry. So final word, you'll be like a broken record. You'll be all looking at me going, yeah, Oisín, we know, but I really am so very proud of you all. You heard what we were talking about in the panel, and the very best of luck. Keep in touch with us all. We love to hear from you. We really do. Me personally and everybody in Griffith College. So keep in touch with us and let us know what you're up to. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd just like to come in to thank our special guests, Gary Cohn and Denise O'Connor. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights. And a very big thank you to Gwen Kenny, who managed the BA Honours in Interior Architecture, and Oisín McManus. You're so lucky to have industry experience as well as very patient teachers, and they did a tremendous a lot towards the end, keeping all the momentum going, because I know, like everyone else, when COVID hit, we all kind of flatlined a little bit, because you're in that feeling going, what's going on? And everyone was very unsure. Another mention that I have to say, and I'm sure all the students will agree with me, Mark McKenna had a huge challenge trying to work remotely, and we've all had to deal with that challenge ourselves. We're remote working from home, but try and do the biggest project of your life to graduate, and have to remote access to use all the software that you were using, you know, like VisRender. And also we know that it was a huge obstacle, but you all really, you know, pulled out the stops and you did fantastically well. It's such a huge achievement. Out of any year to graduate, this has to be, you know, the one that, you know, will be remembered by everyone. But, you know, you've been creative on how you've had to adapt. I mean, you didn't have a studio space, so you had to set up maybe at a kitchen table or at home. So we recognize that, and we recognize the achievement that you've all made to get here today. So well done. So give yourselves a big clap. You can unmute. Britt, would you like to add anything there?
Yeah, congratulations again, everyone. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. You got to see some of the fantastic work that our students have done, and you should be really proud of what you actually done this year. It's really well done. Also, thank you again to the panel, Denise O'Connor, Gary Cohn, Gwen Kenny, and Ocean McManus. It's been really interesting, and I hope that we might be able to repeat this in the future. So I hope everybody will be able to go on to creative.griffith.ie to see everybody's work. And I hope everybody's joined today.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and the last thing I meant to say is well done to the graduates, because we're used to talking, but you guys have to get up and show your work in front of the world now because we're on YouTube. So fantastic. And it's not as easy as it looks going live. So very well done, and you should be proud of that as well. And I hope your friends and family have tuned in and seen what you've been doing the last 3 months trying to finish off your work. Well done. So, so on behalf of Britt and myself and all the faculty team, thank you very much for tuning in. Tanya Doyle is back tomorrow evening at 7, and she's going to be looking at the film and TV students. And then the last night I'll be back at 7 o'clock with the communication design students. So they're going to present their work as well. So I hope you'll all tune back in and support the other graduates as well. So fantastic, well done, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations.